Hey up troops, it's A Littleton here again with another video, and this time we're going to be going through the new patch which came out today, an hour or so ago, for Year 7 Season 3.3. Some big changes for Doc, big changes for Rook, and big changes for Dokkaebi as well. So this is the patch that's been talked about for a little while, where Doc gets a decent buff to his stims, Rook gets withstand when using his Rook plates, which is pretty contentious in the community. I'll come on to that in a minute. But also Dokkaebi gets a really good addition to her utility where even people who are dead and on cameras get the logic bomb effect as well. So there's a couple of non-gameplay changes being brought in this patch as well, and I'm just going to talk about them now very quickly. The changes of the abusive text chat reputation system's been brought in, so you can get penalties for being abusive in text chat. Don't be don't be abusive in text chat. Do everyone a favor. And also now there's going to be a new reputation tab on the home screen. It's fairly limited at the minute what that information gives you, but as the reputation system develops, it's going to give you more and more information down the line. Hopefully everyone's squeaky clean. Are we? So in this video, I'm going to go through all the changes and show what the effects are in-game. I'll be able to show you that mainly across Doc, Rook, and Dokkaebi, but also some sidearm changes, which are pretty big as well, especially for Doc. Anyway, that's enough waffling. Let's get stuck into it. Right then, let's get started with the changes, starting with Doc. And the first change to Doc is absolutely huge in my opinion. Doc now gets access to the Bailiff 410. I didn't know it was Bailiff 410. I thought it was just Bailiff. But Doc now gets the Bailiff. That means Doc can make rotates. It means Doc can open hatches and all the good things the Bailiff can do, lines of sight, etc. It's pretty big when it comes to sight setup. Doc can only normally have the bulletproof or the barbed wire, so we didn't have access to impacts. Obviously, unless you take the shotgun, you couldn't open hatches and rotate. So I think you're going to see a lot more Doc now. We can actually make rotates and lines of sight. Right then, big changes to Doc, and we'll do some testing. We're going to put on a Rook plate. So our health goes from 125 to 145. Doc is very kindly then going to shoot us in the toe a couple of times to take us down. Down to 5 HP, let's go. Down to 5 HP. So what I want to test here is, one, when Doc stims us, the stim now apparently heals 200 HP. Does that heal the Rook plate buff as well, or just the standard HP? Let's find out. It heals the Rook plate buff, and you get the 20 HP overheal, so it's going to drop us back down to 145, which is what we were just at. So we'll just wait for this to tick down to 145 once the 20 HP overheal's gone down. Look amongst yourselves. That should just go white again now, so now we've gone back to normal. So when Doc heals, you do get the HP buff back from the Rook plate as well, which is interesting really. But if we just very kindly ask Doc to do it just one more time. Down to 5 HP. Normally a Doc pistol wouldn't heal full health, but now one stim does 200 HP, or a maximum of 200 HP. Obviously you're never going to actually get 200 HP, but away we go. So it heals you back to full health, plus that 20 HP difference. Doc is viable again, obviously with his Bailiff as well. And now we're going to test out the... we're just going to watch Doc here. We're going to test out the down but not out with a Rook plate. Doc's put the plate on. I'm going to step back. I'm going to try and down him. Doc's down. Now, of course, he can stim himself. I'm not going to stim myself. I'm going to press and hold F. Taking the... Hey, that's a cool animation. And up he gets. And he stands back up, crouched. Look. So I've just noticed how cool that animation was, where he takes the rounds, like, out of the vest, out of the Rook plate. That's cool. What we're going to do is swap roles. I'll go on the Rook, and... I'll go on the Doc, and we can see what it looks like in person. So let's see what this looks like in person, then. We'll pick up the Rook plate. We're playing as the Doc now. Not the Doc, as in the Doc, but we are playing Doc. Ask Rook to down us. Down we go. You can see if we press X, we can stim. If we press and hold F, you can see that icon there. We've got the down but not out, and up we get. Out come the rounds from the chest, which is a really cool animation. I like that. And up we get, and again, crouched. And away we go. So, whilst we're here, just quickly, I know we've already talked about Doc, but I'll just stim myself so you can see that the HP goes bang right the way back up to 145 plus the 20 HP overheal. So it works on Doc as well, not just on other people. I think Doc's viable again, guys. With the Bailiff being able to set sights up, he's just a really solid anchor off again. The only thing I know we've just been talking about Rook, but whilst I'm thinking about it, the only thing I would change about Doc, I would still buff him again. And what I would do is, There was a game that I used to play a lot of called Ghost Recon Wildlands, and there was a character in Wildlands, I think he was called Surgeon, and he had exactly the same ability as Doc. However, what you could do on Wildlands is you couldn't fire the pistol, you couldn't fire the stim until it was over your teammates, so you couldn't miss. So when it went over your teammates, the crosshairs turned blue, like a sort of the same color blue as the Doc Rook player here, actually. It turned blue. So what you could do basically is just spam shoot, because you didn't have to worry about missing. You could just spam shoot until you got it over your teammates. Whereas obviously with Doc, you can miss and it's completely wasted. You only get 3. You know, it's hard enough to heal your teammates while they're moving, but yeah. I would change that still, so you can't actually miss. It doesn't activate until it's over your teammate. Just one quick thing with Doc, by the way. This is complete. Let me just move Rook into the other room here. This is completely random, and I don't know if anyone. I'm pretty sure most people know this, but just if anyone's playing Doc and doesn't know this, then you can use the Doc pistol through punch holes. I didn't know this when I was playing Siege for a long time. To shoot Rook, if he says, right, I need healing, you can just punch a hole in the wall and you can shoot him through there. I didn't know for ages, or well, I didn't think about doing it for ages, but if you're like 2 rooms away, you can just make a punch hole and shoot through the other wall and make a line of sight. So you can shoot through there. But yeah, good changes for Rook. I know what people feel about down but not out and being able to withstand. I actually don't mind it because it means you've got to take Rook. I don't think Rook's a particularly good operator. HP buff is cool, but obviously it's a one-shot headshot anyway, so I think it's a good change. It makes him somewhat more viable, but I still don't think you're going to see Rook played that much in the higher ranks. Doc, I think, probably will be now a little bit more, perhaps. And finally, the next big changes come to Dokkaebi, and this is a big change. Firstly, Dokkaebi's already really, really strong, given that she now has... not that. Sorry, I don't know why I was doing that. That she now has these little fellas. She now has the EMPs, which is huge. So Dokkaebi's already really strong as it is. However, she's just got even stronger. I can't show you exactly what the changes are because with 2 people, it's impossible to show you. I need 3 people. However, if we just pretend... How big is that handle? Oh, is the mag in the bottom of the... Yeah, okay, no worries. If we I just got distracted slightly there. If we just pretend for a second that I'm dead as Jaeger, and then I'll show you what happens. So, normally we know that when Dokkaebi does a logic bomb, this happens. It's really annoying and we all hate it, right? This happens, and we have to hold this, and that gets rid of the call, right? Okay, well, the difference now is that I've just died. Jaeger goes, oh, I've lost the gunfight. I'm dead. I'm on cams now. So I'm sitting on cams. If I was dead and on cameras, when Dokkaebi used her logic bomb, I wouldn't be affected by it. Only the players who were alive would get the buzzing noise and would be made to turn the phone off or would stop being allowed to go on cams. Don't forget, when you're alive, not only is it really annoying that the buzzing starts on your phone and it gives you position away, if you're playing Echo or Maestro or Valkyrie or whoever it is, it stops you being able to check your cams as well. And obviously anyone else can't check default cams either. So, when you're normally dead and you're on cams, if the logic bomb goes off, it only affects those people who are alive. As of today, when you're dead, the logic bomb will affect you as well. So you can't have your teammates watching your back who are dead on cams for you. Nobody on the team, nobody on the defensive team gets access to the cameras whatsoever. It's going to look something like this when you're dead. She'll ring the logic bomb, and it'll be this. It's not the nice... I can't stay on cams, because now it's forced me off the cameras, like the mechanic does. But if you're dead, you'll be forced to stare at that screen for the duration of the logic bomb, which is that long. Now, the other thing to bear in mind is if the logic bomb's going off, and you die whilst the logic bomb is going off, you won't be able to check cams either. It's not like you can die during the logic bomb, and then you can check cams. It still won't give you access. The camera feed for those dead or alive whilst the logic bomb is going off is completely disabled. And it's massive, really, because the amount of times that the logic bomb's gone off and you've got teammates still calling out for you, nobody can check cams. So when especially in the higher levels of gameplay where because I know I can always say like lower down the ranks, but I don't mean this in a sort of derogatory way. Lower down the elo, people don't stay on cams for the teammates as much. It's just not done. In higher elo, when you've got teammates watching the final push, when the final execute is going to happen, Dokkaebi can launch the logic bomb and no one can be on cam. Think about this, right? The defenders have got an Echo waiting to go on the cams to deny the plant. And as the Dokkaebi is teaming up with the person, like lining up with the person who's going to plant, he says to the planter, right, are you ready to plant? He says yes, starts planting, Dokkaebi starts the logic bomb. Not only then can no one go on cams, but no one can see cams. So even your defenders who are dead and are calling what's going on in the execute can't see anything at all. It's really strong, it's really powerful. I think Dokkaebi's going to be seen even more, especially given the fact that she's got access to these things as well, which is a really cool model, and I didn't realise how much it made him glow. That's really bright, isn't it? So yeah, good changes for Dokkaebi, and I think you're going to see her a bit more. And finally, the last change we're going to talk about is the change to the TCSG operators, which is Cade and Goyo. It's exactly the same across both of them. They used to have only 71 round bullet shells, whatever you want to call it, when they spawned in. As you can see down in the bottom right, it's now 110 in the pockets and 11 in the weapons, so 121 in total. I play a lot of Cade with the TCSG. If you haven't tried this yet, by the way, put a silencer on the TCSG and put a vert grip with a 2x on the TCSG. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's a DMR, and it's just a DMR that can do this. It's ridiculous. If you haven't tried it yet, give it a try. But the thing is with the TCSG, it used to take a little while to make rotates, because you can see the holes are quite small. So you can make rotates. It just takes a few more rounds to do it. And obviously because of that, with only having 71 in the pocket to begin with, by the time you'd made 2 rotates and a line of sight, it was really difficult to take fights because you only had about 20 rounds left. I'm telling you, man, give it a go. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right, the recoil really isn't that bad. Just pulled out. It's literally just a case of pulling down. There's no other recoil to organize, and it's got 11. Oh, it's so good. Give it a go. That's the changes to Cade and Goyo. So there we have it. They're the changes for Year 7 Season 3.3. Some huge changes, I've said already. Big changes for Doc. Big changes for Dokkaebi. And a big change for Rook with that down but not out with stand feature. It's pretty contentious for me. I still don't think Rook is worth bringing. Maybe casually, he could be quite fun, but in terms of the higher echelons of the rank game, I really don't think being able to get up when you're down is that important. How often are you down and you don't get revived, or how often are you down and you get just finished off straight away anyway? I really don't think it adds that much to warrant bringing Rook over an operator that brings some better utility, in my opinion anyway. I say this at the end of every video, and today is absolutely no exception. I also stream on Twitch 4 days a week, every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 PM UK time. There's been a load of people from YouTube who've come and got involved. If you aren't one of them yet, come and get involved. My name on Twitch is exactly the same as YouTube, and you can see it below. Cheers. Other than that, that wraps us up for this one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.